I thought it was a normal day. It's chaotic, and I'm screaming, Jesus, like with tears coming down my eyes. Jesus. If it ever crossed your mind, if those thoughts ever came to you, is God real? Does he see me? Does he love me? He does love you, and I'm here to prove it with this testimony. So not fast forward, back forward. I don't even know if that's a thing, but like a little bit, or rewind a little bit back. A few years ago, in 2021, God really saved my life. At that time, I was in 12th grade, by the way. I was very depressed. I wasn't a very like popular kid, but I was kind of known for being a little bit like to myself, a little bit quiet, a little bit shy at times. But this is one of the worst like years I have ever like, experienced. I remember in this time that I was doing literally like a lot of stuff out of these voids that was in my heart. So for example, one void I know that I had in my heart was rejection, from being rejected by my mom. She left when I was like in 9th grade and basically never came back. And from that, always had like rejection from that. And so these things that I was trying to fill my heart with, for example, like going to weed, looking to smoking, so that on days when I was sad, I would feel better. Things like getting into New Age because I thought that it would bring me peace. I thought it would bring me something that I was looking for. Also things like living a homosexual lifestyle. I dated girls, and I was just really like looking for like love, especially because for me, I went through a lot of even being like, affected like sexually by people that I love. And so I was trying to fill a lot of voids in my heart. But I remember around this time, like sometimes it would get so bad to the point where I would literally cry myself to sleep. And it would be like after I just got done smoking or drinking, I would just cry myself to sleep. And sometimes I do remember like saying like little comments to God, like, God, if you love me, like show me that you're real. If you're out there, show me that you're real, because I don't feel like that you're real. And mind you, I've always had like a knowledge of God, of who God was. I grew up in a Christian household, so I've seen God do miracles. I've seen God show up in times where a large family, for us, we're a family of 7, a large family, like we were without food, and God shows up miraculously and brings us food and everything. So yeah, I remember seeing a lot of God and knowing a lot of God when I was younger and things like that. Even like showing me dreams and stuff to prove that he was real, but I never chose to surrender my life and actually take my life serious with God until this day. I thought it was a normal day. I'm thinking it's just gonna be like another day when I wake up and everything is the same, everything is good, But I remember this day, my family and I were driving. We were supposed to be going to help my sister like move her stuff from her apartment. So she was driving back and forth from my dad's house to her apartment. And one day a SUV literally comes down our street, recklessly runs a stop sign and smacks into my family's car. And the moment that happened, because of the impact of their car and how small our car was, it caused our car to basically have a traumatic accident. I remember that day the car rolling over a total of 4 times. By the time that car had stopped, wait, let me rewind a little bit. Mind you, when this happened, I was scared for my life. Like I was literally in fear. The first time the car hit, I felt the impact. I knew that it was bad. And I just remember, after the car had hit, it started like literally flipping over. Because I was so scared out of my life, I literally thought that was the end of my life. I started screaming for the name of Jesus. So the car is literally flipping, it's chaotic, and I'm screaming, Jesus, like with tears coming down my eyes. Jesus, and I'm calling on him, and I'm desperately asking him to save me. And that day, he saved my life. The car came to a complete stop. It was total, like, I'm telling you, if you would have saw this car, you would have thought the people who were in that car died, but it was total. It was squished in. I was pulling my sister out of the window of the car by the time we came to a complete stop. People came to start helping us. They called the ambulance for us. And all I can remember when that ambulance came was being in that stretcher on like the little seat and just crying like, man, I'm literally still alive. And so fast forward a little bit more in that day, we went to the hospital. We checked out of the hospital with papers, and everything was okay, by the way. None of us had like broken bones. None of us were damaged at all, or none of us had to be on crutches for like, months or anything. We were okay. And it hit me when I got home. And I literally fell to my knees this day because I realized that God loved me so much, because if not, I could have died in that car accident. Like, what was stopping God from allowing me to die that day? it was only his love for me and his mercy for me. And so when I saw that, I'm like, man, God has given me another chance. God has a plan for me, obviously, because I didn't die that day. So I started crying and I started surrendering my life to him. And I said, Jesus, like, if it had not been for you, I would have been in hell. I was living in sin. I was living a life that wasn't pleasing to God. So what do you want me to do, God? What do you want me to do? Like, I'll do anything for you. And I'm literally confessing these things to God. I'll do anything. Wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to do, I'll do that, God. Just